Hey guys, what's going on? It's Fox again, and I'm just gonna bring you another Magic the Gathering deck review. A deck that I was inspired to make after Friday night, Magic night. After a draft I went to at a local game store called Pegasus Games. So the draft consisted of pretty lackluster cards. I didn't really get anything too terrific, but I decided that I would try a red-blue burn deck. From what I saw from other people making red-blue burn decks, or just burn decks in general, I thought I would do what I could and see how well it goes. There was another person I played at my second round that made a similar deck as mine, but it was just made a lot better. So let's get started. This is just inspired from the deck I made during the draft, so this is a lot better. I played it against a friend of mine a day or two ago. He lost the first round, but then he just completely incinerated me, pun intended, because like all of the damage was from, you know, all the passive moves he was making from this deck. So we'll start with the blue. Only creatures I got are 4 Enlightened Maniacs. So when it enters the battlefield, you get a 3/2 of Draw the Horror. And I only have sorceries for blue. 3 Drag Unders. So you return a creature card to its owner's hand and draw a card. And then we have 4 Drag Unders. And then we have 4 Take Inventories. So you draw a card, and then for every Take Inventory in your graveyard, you draw that many extra cards. And then for red, we got the creatures, just 4 Thermal Alchemist. For sorceries, we got 4 Alchemist Greetings. My friend didn't really understand the whole concept of madness, but I'm pretty sure just to put the debate down and let it rest. But madness, it specifically says if you discard this card, you discard it into exile, and then you can play it for its madness cost. And just to be clear, discarding means you take a card from your hand and then put it in the graveyard. Not from the field to the graveyard. Correct. Am I correct? If I'm not correct, please spam no. Don't be, sarcastic, but be serious if I'm wrong. But from every card game I played, even, normal playing cards, 1, 2, 3, ace, jack, queen, king, discarding means card goes from your hand into a discard pile. Your graveyard is a discard pile as well, but when it comes from another location to the graveyard, that's not considered discard. And he, for some reason, could not understand that at all, and was asking my roommate, who does not really understand Magic rules, and it was like, I'm explaining to you what madness is. You can't just keep using. He thought he could keep using the madness ability. I don't even understand how he was getting around to this, but he thought he could just keep playing it for the madness cost. I'm like, no. When it gets discarded, it means you take it from your hand and put it in your graveyard. Not when it leaves the field. Yeah, so very frustrating, but I'm pretty sure I'm confident with that explanation. If it's wrong, I'm sorry, please correct me. So to continue, I just have 4 Make Mischiefs. Does damage to a creature or player, and you put a 1/1 Devil Token that has the ability, when it dies, it does damage to a creature or player. So And then for the instances, we have 4 Galvanic Bombardments, which does 2 damage. And then if there are any more Galvanic Bombardments in the graveyard, which you can only have up to 3 at the time, it does 2 plus that many you have in the graveyard. Unless there's another format out there that I don't know about that lets you have more than 4 cards, more than 4 same type of cards. Then we have Spreading Flames, does 6 damage as you choose among number of creatures. I felt like this would be a loophole because you could say no. You could still play it for its cost and then choose 0 creatures, right? Just to activate Thermal Alchemist's ability to untap it. You don't gotta use Spreading Flames ability, but you can choose none. I mean, it says 6 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. And I'm pretty sure that means you could technically choose 0 and just use it for, you know, because that's what happened. Because I agreed with it. I was like, that makes sense. I mean, you could choose not to do anything. You could just play it. And he used it for Thermal Alchemist's ability, untapped, and then tapped him again and killed me. So that was fine for me. If that is not a thing, then do correct as well as that. And we just got island cards and mountains. I do need to find some of those non-basic land cards that are more like Blighted Steppe is for plains, but for island or mountain or red or blue, you know. And then I don't know what I would trade out if I needed to, but this is my sideboard. So I got 3 Reckless Scholars. You just tap him and draw a card and discard a card. So with Reckless Scholar, you could use his ability to discard Alchemist Greeting. So you could discard Alchemist Greeting with Reckless Scholar, and then next turn, because you discard into exile if you choose to. Well, it says if you discard it, discard into exile. So you discard into exile, and the next turn you could, you know, play it for its mana spells. So that is how I know. Otherwise, you know, if you drew a card and you didn't have anything to discard, you would discard that card you drew, not something from the field. So we got 3 pour over pages. I just liked it because after you draw 3 cards, you untap with 2 lands, and then it also has a discard feature again. So another reason to use cards that have madness. Of course, I only have Alchemist Greetings in this deck that has the madness ability, so I should probably find some more cards that have madness. I got 2 Send Plotters, so this card is pretty OP. It only costs 3. I don't know why they didn't cost it more, because some people I know are like, holy crap, that is like overpowered for its cost. But at the beginning of your turn, you draw a card, and your opponent chooses whether or not that card gets discarded into the graveyard or put into your hand. And if it gets discarded, then if it has a mana cost, converted mana cost, that opponent that chose to put the card in the graveyard gets damaged that much. So you know, if I drew a card that had a mana cost of 3 and they said discard it, they would lose 3 life. When someone uses that on me and they draw a land, that's when I discard it. It depends on the card though. If I'm discarding lands and then next time they draw a really heavy mana costing card, then I'll just keep it. Like, keep it, you can't even play it anyways. And if I can afford the loss of life, then sure, trash it. I got 2 reduce to ashes. I got these on my graph, so I figured I'd throw these in this deck, but holy crap. It does 5 damage to a creature. If it dies, it gets exiled, so very fun. Annoyed a guy I played on my 3rd round, the last round. He's just like, oh! So, and he had a chance to look in my hand and prepare for it, though, because he had a certain card that allows you to. It's an escalate card. I forget. It's like Blessed Alliance, but it's black. I forgot what it's called. I got 2 structural distortion. You destroy artifact or land, deals 2 damage to that controller. So pretty good. And just 3 Weaver of Lightnings. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, this card does the damage to your opponent. Yeah, to a target creature an opponent controls. My bad. Not the opponent himself or herself, but to a creature they control. So that is my burn deck that I made, inspired by the draft deck I made on Friday, and just because someone else had made one, the second guy I faced, he destroyed me with his. I didn't even get a chance. I mean, I got him down to like below 5 health both matches, but I could not keep up with his skill, I guess. So that's my blue burn deck. Yep, that sounds cool. I got it in my cameo box. Pretty cool. Got it at Barnes & Noble, so if you got a Barnes & Noble over there, go check them out. They got Magic the Gathering stuff. I mean, I guess it depends on your Barnes & Noble. Mine over here is pretty huge, so they usually have events and they're pretty huge, so I guess they can afford it. But that's it for that deck review, and I will see you again when I do another one.